Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today we take you to the wilds of Baranof Island in Alaska. Baranof Island, part of Alaska's Alexander Archipelago, is known for its dense forests, rugged mountains, and large populations of brown bears. The island's varied terrain and temperate rainforest climate support diverse plant life, including towering Sitka spruce, hemlock, and alder trees, and dense undergrowth of ferns, berries, and mosses. This region is rich in wildlife, including Sitka black-tailed deer, which attract hunters during the fall hunting season. The island's brown bear population is among the highest in the world, with bears often ranging across the dense forests and along salmon-rich rivers. The combination of plentiful prey and cover makes Baranof Island an ideal bear habitat. However, for humans, it's a challenging environment where bear encounters are not uncommon, especially in the fall, when bears are foraging aggressively to prepare for winter hibernation. In the last week of October 2024, 50-year-old Tad Fujioka had planned a solo blacktail excursion on Baranof Island. He grew up in Juneau before going off to Caltech for college. Tad was a smart man and earned an engineering degree before taking a job with the city of Sitka. He was a seasoned outdoorsman, hunter, and respected figure in the fishing community of Sitka, Alaska. As chairman of the board of the Seafood Producers Cooperative, Fujioka was well known and highly regarded for his contributions to the industry. On October 27, 2024, Tad set out alone on a hunting trip to Baranof Island, seeking to harvest a Sitka black-tailed deer. Confident of his skills and familiarity with the land, Tad was equipped for the hunt and aware of the risks that come with venturing into bear country. While on the hunt, Tad had some success, as one of his stalks had led to him successfully harvesting a deer. He knew he was in brown bear country, and the less amount of time he could spend over the carcass, the better. After gutting the deer, Tad pulled off half of the carcass and packed it back to his camp before nightfall began to set in. He knew better than to traipse around the woods toward twilight, so he decided that half the deer would have to wait until the morning. After a good night's rest, Tad woke up and gathered his equipment to retrieve the other half of the deer carcass. After a brief hike, he arrived near the cache site, and then things took a terrible turn. On October 29th, Fujioka was reported overdue after failing to return from his hunting trip. Tad was an organized kind of guy, though hunting alone carries more risk than hunting with partners. He'd let friends and family know where he was going to be hunting, but hadn't returned by the scheduled time, fostering a broadening concern. Calling in to report him missing set off a buzz of activity with Alaska wildlife troopers, and the U.S. Coast Guard quickly initiated a land search near his last known location in the remote forests of Baranof Island. Upon arriving at the island, searchers planned out a grid and hoped to locate him very soon. They covered the ground with searchers while helicopters flew over the area looking for clues. As helicopters surveyed the area, they observed a sow brown bear with 2 cubs and noted their location on the search grid. At approximately 11:30 a.m. the next day, search teams located Fujioka's remains. Evidence at the scene suggested that he'd successfully hunted a deer, attracting a bear, which then turned defensive, likely perceiving Fujioka as a threat to its food source. Authorities speculated that the bear involved was possibly a sow with cubs, increasing the likelihood of an aggressive response. After Tad's corpse was recovered, wildlife officials convened and decided the bear's actions were defensive in nature. They believed the sow and cubs seen previously by the helicopter searchers had claimed the unguarded half of Tad's deer carcass, and when he returned, the bears attacked and killed him. His corpse was not cached, meaning that the bears didn't display any intention of consuming him. The officers labeled Tad's fatal mauling a defensive attack and indicated they would not pursue the sow and her cubs. They also pointed out that the search efforts drove the bears away from the attack site, and locating them would be much more difficult. The news of Tad Fujioka's tragic death deeply impacted the Sitka community, where he was known not only as a skilled fisherman but also as a friend and community leader. The bear attack has prompted discussions about the dangers of solo hunting trips and the importance of bear safety in Alaska's wilderness. Fujioka's dedication to the fishing industry, particularly his work in supporting local fishermen and sustainable practices, has left a lasting legacy. Alaska is home to approximately 30,000 brown bears, making it one of the highest bear-populated regions globally. Baranof Island, with its rich natural resources, supports a significant number of these bears. Brown bears are most active from early spring through late fall, with encounters more common during late summer and fall as bears intensify foraging for hibernation. While bear attacks are rare, they can happen suddenly, particularly when bears perceive a threat to food sources or young cubs. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon, linked below, will give you ad-free early access to our episodes, and the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. The tragic story of Tad Fujioka's encounter with a bear on Baranof Island underscores the very real dangers of Alaska's wilderness. His death serves as a solemn reminder of the balance between human activity and wildlife in remote, bear-populated regions. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Should solo hunting in high-risk bear habitats come with additional safety requirements? What more can be done to improve bear safety training for hunters and outdoor enthusiasts in bear-populated areas? Could alternative methods of food storage or hunting practices help reduce the risk of bear encounters in places like Baranof Island? I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to northwestern Slovakia, to a small town called Kaniananka. Slovakia is home to vast, dense forests that provide ideal habitats for Eurasian brown bears. The terrain here includes rugged mountains, forested hills, and thick undergrowth, offering ideal cover and foraging opportunities for forest inhabitants. The forests here are lush, with oak, beech, and fir trees, accompanied by a dense understory of shrubs and plants that produce berries, and a great habitat for mushrooms to thrive. Mushroom picking is a popular activity in Slovakia, especially during the fall when the forests are teeming with the delicious fungi. As is frequently discussed on this channel, bears are ravenously eating everything they can find in the fall, which coincides with prime mushroom picking season. Bear incidents in Slovakia have been increasing over recent years. Earlier in October of 2024, another mushroom picker faced a fatal encounter with a bear, highlighting the ongoing risk to foragers and hikers in the region. As of this year, over 40 problem bears have been euthanized in Slovakia due to their repeated incursions into human-populated areas, with 12 bears being shot in 9 days. When summer food sources fade with peak season, the hungry bears grow bolder and venture closer to towns for food. These incidents have led to growing debates about bear management and human safety. On Saturday, October 19, 2024, a 66-year-old Slovak man, whom we will refer to as Adam, was a seasoned mushroom picker familiar with the area. He'd picked wild mushrooms for 40 years and had 2 prior incidents with brown bears. The first time he ran into a sow and cubs. As soon as he saw the bears, he turned and fled. The second incident involved him running into a young male brown bear. Adam froze in place and waited a few seconds before the bear departed without incident. With frightening but harmless bear run-ins in his mind, Adam ventured into the undergrowth of Kaniananka's forest to collect wild mushrooms once again. However, his experience couldn't prepare him for the unexpected encounter with a large brown bear. As the man moved through the dense forest undergrowth, he searched for mushrooms and maneuvered his way through promising territory with his eyes fixed on the ground. There was a small group of mushroom pickers about 100 yards ahead of him, which made him feel safe as he searched. Making his way through the trees, Adam emerged at the edge of a grassy meadow, with his bag partially filled with mushrooms and his basket. As Adam glanced up, his vision was filled with the sight of a huge sow brown bear charging toward him, followed by her 2 cubs. The last time he had run into a sow and cubs, he ran to safety, but somehow Adam knew he couldn't get away from this angry bear. He turned away from the bears before the impact of the sow colliding with him sent him sailing. As he lay face down, the sow bit into Adam's left shoulder, and then into his right shoulder. She was in a frenzy, swatting and biting before she bit onto his basket still across his back. With one powerful bite and twist of her head, the sow ripped the basket from the bag over Adam's shoulders, scattering the few mushrooms he'd collected. Then she disappeared, leaving Adam in pain, bleeding, and terrified. After the bears had left him, Adam sat up and tried to pull himself together. He had painful sensations flooding into his mind from all over his body. He knew he would have to get himself help soon, and slowly stood to his feet. Stumbling his way for 1.5 miles, Adam walked himself back to a meadow, where he received cell service. Calling his wife, Adam explained the bear attack to her and asked her to get help. He couldn't walk any further, and within 30 minutes rescuers showed up to render first aid. They organized a helicopter to transport Adam to Previzda Hospital. As they cleaned and sutured Adam's wounds, they counted 17 different wounds to his face, hands, chest, and thighs. Closing his wounds took nearly 50 stitches, and he was held in the hospital for observation. As for the sow and her cubs, given she attacked as a reaction to a sudden encounter near a food source, with her cubs by her side, her actions were deemed to be defensive in nature. There was no immediate decision to euthanize her or her cubs, in any source I could find. Slovakia's brown bear population is estimated to be at around 1,200 individuals, most of which reside in the mountainous and forested regions of the south. Slovakia has an area of just under 19,000 square miles, which means the brown bear density is 1 bear for every 16 square miles, including urban areas. This is not a high density, but bear incidents relate directly to the number of people accessing bear habitat as well. The Slovak Nature Conservation Agency has urged citizens to take precautions, especially during autumn months. Mushroom pickers, hikers, and hunters are encouraged to make noise to alert bears to their presence. Travel in groups whenever possible. Avoid areas with dense undergrowth where visibility is low, and carry bear spray or deterrents if available. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Should areas with low bear populations collar and track bears to keep the public safe? Would bear spray or a firearm have prevented this attack? What lessons did you take from this episode? I will gladly read or reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to Idaho's Caribou-Targhee National Forest, near Mule Meadows. The town of Kilgore is about 25 miles west of an area mentioned many times on this channel, Island Park, Idaho. Mule Meadows is a stone's throw away from the Montana-Idaho border, depending on how far you can throw a stone. In the year 2024, there have been 3 grizzly-related attacks in the region since summer. The early fall of 2024 was a busy and chaotic time for grizzly bears, as they encountered people near Island Park. In September, an archery hunter was attacked by an adult male grizzly bear, west of Henry's Lake. The hunter, with a friend, was stalking elk when the bear attacked, knocking him down and biting him. Both hunters managed to fend off the bear using sidearms, and the injured hunter was evacuated to a medical facility for non-life-threatening injuries. In June, a resident near Island Park shot a young grizzly male that charged at his girlfriend near their property. Each of these encounters has been featured on an episode on this channel and is linked to below this video for your review. The Caribou-Targhee National Forest, stretching for over 2.63 million acres across Idaho and Wyoming, is known for its rugged mountains, dense forests, and rich biodiversity. The vast forests bordering the greater Yellowstone ecosystem provide a haven for a wide range of wildlife, from deer, elk, and moose to apex predators like black bears, cougars, wolves, and grizzly bears. This landscape varies significantly from low-elevation valleys to towering peaks that reach over 10,000 feet. Forests are dense with lodgepole pines, Douglas firs, aspens, and shrubs, creating an ideal habitat for prey and predators. Grizzly bears are particularly active in this region during late fall as they prepare for hibernation, consuming large amounts of food to build up essential fat stores. On Saturday, October 26, 2024, an elk hunter whom we refer to as Steve was participating in one of his favorite pastimes. He was experienced in backcountry hunting and a great shot with his hunting rifle. This trip was intended to be a routine solo elk hunt through dense forest, where elk are commonly found in October. Equipped with standard hunting gear, including a rifle, the hunter knew the risks involved in grizzly bear country and was alert to potential dangers. Now is a great time to mention the hunting rifle Steve would be packing on his hunting trip. His rifle of choice was a 7mm .08, which is similar to a .308 Winchester. The .08 fires smaller bullets and has less muzzle energy. It is suited for medium-sized game like deer, is a favored varmint hunting rifle. This relatively underpowered rifle is a curious choice for elk hunting, and it is not the most favored gun to protect yourself from a charging grizzly. But if being charged by a grizzly could be anticipated, then every hunter would pack the most powerful firearm they could bring. As Steve hiked the hills and examined the trails for sign of elk, toward evening he found himself in a heavily forested area near Mule Meadows. This kind of country doesn't give its gold up without taking a comparable amount of energy and exertion. The bushes screening the southern slopes get tangled and difficult to pass through quietly. Considering they all grow short and wide, they make seeing anything concealed in their branches nearly impossible until you are danger close. As Steve maneuvered through thick brush, he pushed aside groups of branches as he passed by. He noticed a grizzly bear daybed dug into the duff of the forest, and then a few yards away he found another. As he crept through the brush, a sow grizzly broke out of some bushes a short distance away from him. They were only separated by a few yards, and Steve knew the grizzly would be upon him before he could do much to stop her. Steve was packing bear spray, but his high-powered hunting rifle was already in his hands. As the bear was bounding toward the hunter, he knew he didn't have time to hope she was only bluffing in her charge toward him. He whipped his rifle in her direction and hoped that he was unshaken enough to deliver a defensive round to her before she could reach him. As he squeezed the trigger, his rifle belched out a thunderous roar and billowed a puff of smoke as the sow was a mere 1 yard from the end of the barrel of his rifle. His initial shot struck the sow just below her right eye and dropped her in her tracks. As she struggled to regain her feet, Steve quickly worked the action of his rifle and got off a second shot at the bear, striking her behind the right shoulder, and then everything around him went quiet. It is nearly impossible to practice snap shooting with a hunting rifle under the pressure of being charged by a grizzly, but somehow Steve pulled it off when it mattered most. His bullet hit home and knocked the sow off her feet. Only a few minutes later her body lay still as Steve tried to get his senses together. The intensity and terror of the past few seconds stimulated a rush of adrenaline that would take some time to subside. Realizing he was safe, Steve focused on reaching out to authorities to report the grizzly's death. The only means he had to do so was his cell phone, so he climbed the ridge above until he could receive sufficient service to place a call. The Clark County Sheriff's Office dispatcher helped notify the Idaho Department of Fish and Game, as well as local law enforcement. The officers converged to investigate Steve's testimony regarding the circumstances surrounding his attack. After taking Steve's statement and visiting the bear's carcass, officials concluded the man's account of the facts. They determined that Steve's killing of the sow was completed in self-defense, and that he would face no charges regarding its demise. The hunter indicated that he didn't notice the smell of a nearby carcass and didn't see any bear cubs anywhere near the attack site. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon, linked below, will give you ad-free early access to our episodes, and the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. If you visit our Patreon site, you'll see attack photos, and pictures of the bear carcass involved in this episode are posted there for your review. Thanks to his quick response, the hunter avoided physical harm, a rarity in such close encounters with grizzlies. This incident underscores the dangers of solo hunting in areas where bears are actively foraging before winter. Officials expressed relief that the hunter escaped injury, though this latest incident highlights the need for continued bear safety education and preparation. The Greater Yellowstone ecosystem, which includes Caribou-Targhee National Forest, is home to a significant population of grizzly bears, with estimates ranging between 700 and 800 grizzly bears. While bear attacks remain rare, interactions between humans and bears are increasing as bear populations grow and humans venture deeper into wilderness areas. Bears in this area are typically active from March through early November, with late fall seeing increased foraging activity as bears prepare for hibernation. The Idaho Department of Fish and Game recommends several precautions to minimize risks when venturing into bear country, including carrying bear spray and having it accessible at all times. Avoid hunting or hiking solo whenever possible. Be vigilant for signs of bear activity, such as tracks, scat, or animal carcasses. Store food and garbage securely, at least 200 yards away from camp and 10 feet off the ground. Make noise, especially when visibility is low, to avoid surprising bears. This intense encounter near Mule Meadows is a testament to the challenges of navigating bear country, especially during fall. The hunter's quick thinking and preparedness saved his life, but it also raises questions about safety practices in bear-inhabited regions. After reviewing the facts surrounding this attack, I'm left with a few questions for you. Could this incident have been avoided with additional bear safety measures in place? What further steps can be taken to ensure human and bear safety as bear populations continue to grow? How can we better protect hunters and outdoor enthusiasts in grizzly country? I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.